We're joined by Shotzi, and we got a lot to talk about. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, Shotzi, obviously your name a lot in the news. We've been talking to a lot of people. We just had Breeze on. We had Matt Cardona on earlier in the week about life after the WWE. Your contract is now ended with the WWE. That part of your career, at least for now, is over, and now you move on. So, like, what's your like, what's going on? Your emotions, knowing that at least for now, that part of your career is over.
Honestly, I didn't expect this, but I just feel so free and I just feel like this weight is lifted off me and I just feel like clarity and I just feel extremely motivated and excited for the future and I'm just ready to like get to work because I have just been sitting at home it feels like for like the last 2 years and I'm just excited to get back at it.
What is that like? And that's, you're somebody that we saw on TV all the time, especially when you were with NXT. And then, like, when you went to the main roster and we saw you in the ring with a Charlotte Flair, and it's like, wow, you're right on the cusp. And then all of a sudden you're off of TV. And I know you had injuries and such, but like when you're on the shelf saying, all right, let me on, I can do this. Give me an opportunity. Like, how difficult and how frustrating is that?
It is extremely frustrating. Like, when they're utilizing you, it's the best job in the world. It's so much fun and it really is the best. But like when you're in the dark and you're pitching things and it just feels like no one wants to talk to you and like it just feels like no one believes in you and you're just sitting at home or you're sitting in catering for months it's mind numbing and it's confusing and it's boring as hell. Um so I'm just excited to finally get to go out there and just kick ass and on my terms and I get to make my schedule. Like I'm not going to put myself in catering. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to wrestle my butt off.
And I'm sure you saw it that as soon as that news came down, I'm sure you were flooded with fans saying, yes, thank God. And I'm sure there's people that have reached out for you saying, yes, we'd love for you to make appearances. Like, I'm sure you've been flooded with that, correct?
It's been so overwhelming. Like, I have just been, like, glued to my phone the last few days, like, just answering emails and just trying to get bookings straight. But yeah, just completely overwhelming, but also eye-opening and really exciting.
I think one of the things for her that's so cool is like she's talking about how hungry she is. Like I've known Shotzi for a hot minute now, and like there's been a lot of just cool experiences for me with her in a sense of when I was down in NXT and kind of getting this resurgence to my career, getting that spark back, that happiness back. You know, I get a text from her, "Hey, how did you do that? How can I do that?" And so I go talk to Russo. I'm like, "Hey, Shotzi wants to be here. She wants to work. She wants to grind. She wants to reinvent herself." And he's like, "Done." And then she had to face an injury, unfortunately. And then she worked back from that. And she's never been a person that's like, I'm content with sitting here and collecting a paycheck, which there are several people in that locker room who are fine with that. They're fine with going to catering. They're fine with not traveling and making a paycheck. She's always wanted to continue to elevate herself. And I cannot speak any more highly of her. Like, because even last night, she lives up in Orlando. And, you know, Natty has her wrestling school here in Tampa. And with the news she faced, she came down and trained last night in the dungeon. It's 100 degrees and sweating and is talking about how excited she is for the next phase. So like that's that Cardona vibe. That's that you can accomplish what you want and when you're motivated. And I think for Shotzi, like immediately when I'd heard the news, I was like, God, we got to get her on because she's worth $1 million and all this stuff. Like let's pick her brain and where she wants to go and let her take her opportunity. And you know, immediately she's like, yes, I would love that. Yes, I'm training already. Yes, I'm talking to people about bookings already. Like I'm stoked to see where she goes. I know she's got to sit on the clock for a while and nobody knows how long that is, only her, and it's her business. So it'll be exciting that when her 90 days or whatever it is up, then you know somebody's going to get a great surprise at seeing her for the first time, and you're going to get an authentic Shotzi. And what's she just talked about that, like she's writing the rules, and that's what's so awesome about everything she's about to bring to the table.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
See, I'm a nice person sometimes, not always an asshole. But like, I mean, for you, like, are you going to change things about what you're presenting and what you're giving to an audience? Like, where's your mindset on what you want to bring to the table? Are you set in that already, or are you still going to take your time in this time where you're kind of in that weird limbo that we all go through when we leave WWE? Because you do have to sit on your thumbs for a little bit. The nice thing is there's no stress because you will get paid through that time. Um, and when you have no stress, it allows you to be really creative. So have you already been sitting back? Have you been writing promos, writing ideas, changing gear? Like, where is your creative bug right now?
Well, I mean, like, I've kinda already been doing that since, like, I tore my ACL. You know, just I've been rehabbing for, like, a year before getting let go, and, I just had so much time to, like, figure out my, creative process and, figure out my character and, just, like, solidify the ballsy badass, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be so dope to see just when, again, you're not in a box. So I'm excited to see what you bring to the table because, you know, unfortunately for me, I missed out on what you were before you came to WWE because I wasn't always fully aware of everybody. But as soon as you showed up, I was like, whoa, there's something to her. Like there's a it factor to it. And so I know that you're one that has pushed the limits and you do things that not all women wrestlers are willing to do. You will push the envelope. You'll make the crazy dives. You run over people with a tank. So I'm excited to see now that I know who you are and know you as a person. I'm excited to see what you do creatively when you're not locked into a box and locked into these things. And it's not
Yeah.
always when you're with WWE, it's not always just your ideas, but like they're like, oh, this works, but just not for you. Like we've all experienced that in the frustrations of being like, hey, I have all these creative ideas, and they're just like, not right now. And it's
Yeah.
sometimes makes people like, why isn't the superstar doing? Well, we're trying. We're always trying. Like you're a prime example of that. Always trying to get opportunities and make the best of them when you get them. So I'm just excited with breaking out of this box to see what you're creatively going to bring to the table.
Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to bringing, like, that energy back because, like, when I got signed and I started at NXT, like, I was just so grateful that, like, as soon as I got there immediately, like, Hunter understood me. He was all for my character and, like, everything I had to bring to the table, and, I don't know, I lost that along the way, and I'm just ready to bring that back.
Did you feel like it? Because it was just like a little over 4 months ago, you were back on NXT and you're on television again. Like, did you feel like, all right, they're going to use me now? Like, here I am, I'm on TV. Like, did you feel like that this gave you new breath, or did you feel like that was a cause of winding things down? What was your thought 4 months ago?
Well, I mean, it's hard because to, like, really explain my thought process, we have to, like, go back to, like, before my injury. Like, I, um, I was having really great matches on live events against, like, Charlotte and Asuka and Bailey, and, I had a good showing at War Games. Like, Hunter put me over in the post press conference on that, and I felt like I was really, like, getting it going, and I wanted to ride that momentum. So, like, even though I was on the live events and I was being used regularly on SmackDown, I hit up Corbin and I was like, "Yo, I want to get on NXT too," because I've always wanted to be that superstar that was on Raw and SmackDown and on all the live events and on NXT and, like, helping the generation come up. And I really felt like I was, like, on the cusp of being that. And then the injury comes. And, like, when you get an injury, your mind goes into so many different places. Like, is there going to be anything for me when I come back? But you're hopeful that when you sacrifice a limb for a company, you're going to come back and they're going to reward you for fighting through all of that. um and so I get cleared like December 5th, And at that time, I'm like thinking, okay, well, it's December. I'm probably not going to come back until Rumble, which was like 2 months away. And I could not for the life of me sit at home any longer. So I text Russo and I was like, hey, I'm probably not going to come back to the main roster for a little bit. Can I get a little run at NXT, find my ring legs back? And he was like, absolutely. We can only have you for 2 months and then main roster wants you back. And I was like, great, that's perfect. Give me a little run. Put me with these girls. Like I want to build up Gigi and Tatum. I really believe in them. And I thought we were killing it. I thought we were super hot. And then I fell in love with them. Like I was like, oh my God, can we go to the main roster together? Because I have fallen in love with these girls. And then um I was told like, "Oh, you're gonna start a storyline with Chelsea," which I was all for. Chelsea is super great, and they bring me into SmackDown. They're like rehearsing my entrance on the Tron, and then they cut it. And then it was like week after week, nothing and nothing. And then I start to wonder like, oh man, my contract's up in a few months. Like, what is going on? And nobody had answers for me. And that's like finally when I was like, well, I'm gonna cut this promo and I'm gonna get some answers by cutting this promo.
You said it's freeing. Like, I think that's what it is because you get so frustrated sometimes at the end and you're just like, I'm an adult. Tell me what's going on. If you don't have something, tell me. Um,
Yeah,
but instead, it's like dangle the carrot and dangle the carrot and dangle the carrot. And it can become very mentally defeating, like you said. Like, so it's like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do this promo. And if it works out, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm free and I get to do whatever I want anyway. And so it comes to that point, you can only be pushed so far into just being stagnant. And like
yeah,
I know it's frustrating, but it's allowed you now to take something that would devastate a lot of people. Obviously, it's a bummer. No one wants to lose their job or anything, but you've taken that and you turn it into a positive and you go, you know what? Like, one, I'll show them that they screwed up and that I'm worth more than that. And two, I'm also going to fulfill my needs of being creative and being on my own terms and letting loose. So it's cool and it's refreshing because not everybody feels that way. There's a lot of people that are bitter and angry, and there are things to be bitter and angry about, but you're not letting them control you. You're using it as a positive to kind of fuel this next adventure.
yeah, absolutely. And I am so grateful for my time. Like, my year and a half that I had at NXT when I first started was like the greatest year of my life. I was the happiest I had ever been. I just felt like people really understood me and I felt like I was presenting myself the way I wanted people to view me. And I'm just like so grateful for that time and like working with all the women. Like the locker room is just honestly, like, so surprisingly great. Like, going into WWE, it's a little intimidating to enter a locker room like that. We're wrestlers, we got big egos, but, like, the women are awesome, and, like, they all have each other's backs, and, like, I'm just so thankful that I got to be a part of that for, the 5 years that I was there.
All right, but I want to go back to the promo.
Yes.
And you posted that promo, and it's an emotional promo, and you let everything out. So like I felt like you needed to do that, like you needed to get that out there, you need to get your feelings. Like what was the reaction from that promo?
It was all really positive. Like, I had, um, so many coworkers texting me that that was, like, the greatest promo that they've ever seen me cut, and, you know, uh, it was real. It was real. It's like, it was really how I felt, and, yeah, I just wanted to put something out there that because I feel like I hide myself behind like being crazy and wild and ridiculous. And I just wanted to just be real for once.
It definitely felt that way watching it. Like it was one of those things. It was like an emotional ride because I watched it and like felt it, and I get where you were coming from with it. So it was really cool for someone who is a fan of you and what you do to see that and get that raw emotion, because it's hard to put that out there for people. It's hard to be vulnerable. So it was super, like, really cool to see, and I think a lot of people connected to it, and I think it's going to motivate other people hearing that promo, like, that maybe feel stuck in a rut, like, that look up to you and go, "Oh, man, if Shotzi can go out there and be vulnerable and take a risk, I can do it too." So, like, it works on multiple facets that you don't even see with people who are watching it.
Thanks. Yeah. It's just also like a reflection of everything I've been through the last few years, and just showing everyone that that's not going to affect me anymore, and I'm ready to go balls to the walls again.
And when you released that promo, like, again, I saw it and I was like, oh boy. When you saw it, you're like, because you know what I mean? Like, was that kind of like one last, like, to the WWE, like, this is me. Like,
Yeah.
I am talented. You've seen what I could do in the ring, but I'm not going to be defined by this one persona. Like, there's so
Yes.
much. Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely me being like, hey, like I can connect to an audience and I can talk, because I never really got the opportunity to be on the mic, and that is something that I always wanted to show. Like, honestly, promos is what got me into wrestling. Like, the story side got is what got me into wrestling, and I never got to show that side of me, and I just wanted to like put that out there and be like, "Hey, you guys can, not re-sign me, or you can get this." But like either way, I would love an answer.
So was there any, like, so what was the response? Like, did they, I mean, I know they did let your contract, but was there any kind of positive response at all from the company?
No, no, I got the call like 2 days later. Legal called me and was like, "Hey, I got some bad news." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, later." It was like a very short conversation. But I think that probably got the ball rolling, because during Mania, I was talking to talent relations and I was like, "Hey, my contract's up in a few months. Like, are we gonna like talk?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll hit you up soon." And then that promo was like a reminder to hit me back up.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, Shotzi, it made me look differently at you after I heard and saw that promo,
Good.
because you're right, because we never saw anything but what we saw on TV. And
Mhm.
you did a great job using that, obviously hosting Halloween Havoc and your love of horror, and you definitely embraced that. But I saw that promo and I was like, holy shit. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, why are they not tapping? And I thought for sure, because we're seeing it right now with Karrion Cross. Karrion Cross is doing the same exact thing. Like, Karrion Cross is like, fucking A, man. Like, there's more to me. If you're not going to show it, I'm going to show it. And I thought that was that moment for you. So I was actually surprised that we're not seeing you on SmackDown tomorrow night after what I saw that promo. And like I said, Karrion Cross is kind of doing the same thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he is an inspiration. Like, I travel with him and Scarlett, or I used to travel with him and Scarlett all the time. But we still do like travel and do paranormal stuff together. But like, he'll just be like in this haunted house, and he'll be like, "Hey, come here, I want to cut a promo." And then just like off the cuff, cutting this badass promo. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you just like out of thin air, you can just like just start talking? Like, people don't see what a great talker this guy is, and I'm glad that he's not waiting for WWE to let him show it. He's taking it into his own hands. Like, he's hiring all of these people to put these productions together, because he's like, "Well, if they're not going to do it, I'm going to do it myself." And it's honestly been really inspiring to see him like just take it into his own hands.
Do you have just totally different note for you now that you're able to kind of start planning your shows, do you have a list of people that you've watched? Because I know that when I was leaving WWE, I was like, all right, who's out there that I've like been a fan of that I want to step in the ring with? Is there anybody out there you've been watching in any of the companies aside from WWE that you're like, I got to get in the ring with this person, or I've never been in the ring with this person, and now I have this opportunity? Do you have that? Because I think Cody was the originator of the list of people. Have you already been kind of putting that in your brain of who you want to face?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working on a list. I mean, like, I was on the indies for, 5 years before going to WWE, and there's, like, I really wanna go back and wrestle all the people that I loved wrestling and haven't been able to. Um, but there's also tons of people that I never got to wrestle and I would love to. Like, Masha is killing it. Billy Starks is killing it, and I just wanna, like, have these bangers. Like, I feel like I've been so restricted in my head so much. So it's gonna be nice to go out there and just wrestle these badass women or men, um, and just kill it.